Yes, so we're moving to the second half of the 40 lessons. Whoop, 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 whoop. Amazing. So this is lesson 21. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Lesson 21. Obedience to God is greater than the acceptance or the approval of men. What I've learned in this regard is that obedience is truly better than sacrifice, and it brings such joy. If you feel stressed in an area, or if you feel pressured, or things are not going so well in something that you're doing, maybe your work or your business or ministry, then maybe you're just doing it your own way. Because the truth is that there's a joy that comes from walking in obedience to God, and there's always a miracle that comes with obedience. There's a statement I heard years ago that says, the miracle is in your obedience. So let's look at the story of Peter in the Bible when he toiled all night trying to catch fish. This is a professional fisherman. He knows the best times in the day or the night to catch fish, the areas where the probability of catching a good number of fish is high, and he does that all night long, the Bible says, but he caught nothing. And then Jesus comes on the scene and he wants to preach to people. There's a large crowd, and then he requests for the boat and stands in the boat, moves away from the shore a little bit so that he could speak to the crowd of people. After he preaches, he now tells Peter to cast his net into the deep for a catch, and Peter says he has toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, he did so, and we know that he caught a boat sinking, net breaking miracle. He had to call on his partners to come and help him catch the fish so that they don't lose the harvest. So in obedience to Jesus's word and in giving to Jesus to use his boat to do the work, there was a miracle. So if God requests of you something, whether your skill, your gift, or whatever it is, gives you an instruction, when you obey, even when it looks impossible, that's where the miracle is. So in obedience lies your miracle. In obedience is your success, and obedience is greater than the acceptance or the approval of men. I've noticed that many times when God gives us a word, gives us an idea, it looks silly to men, people who are not like in tune with the spirit, to the natural man. Sometimes even to yourself, in your mind, you're like, this is crazy. Is this even going to work? But in obedience is where you experience success and fulfillment. So success in God's eyes looks different from what it is in the eyes of men, right? It's always about obedience and being in the will of God, doing what he has called you to do at the time that he has called you to do it. So would you choose obedience to God or the approval of men? I hope you'll go for the first. This is a lesson I've learned, and I'm so thankful that right now in my life, I believe that I'm in the center of God's will for me. And that's all that matters. Moving on to lesson 22. I've learned that there's always a message in God's silence. Sometimes we feel as if God is not answering us in the way that we want to get that answer. The audible voice or something spectacular, or like it's taking too long to respond to you, like you want to hear him respond. God is not a man. And just like parents who have a response or have non-verbal responses to their children, God has those responses as well. And you need to get to a point where you're so in tune with him that his silence means something. Sometimes it may mean relax, or not now, or you need to grow up, or you need to learn patience in this season. You know, sometimes you're just not ready to have what he's giving. So I've learned to discern God's silence, that even in his silence, there's something that he's saying. There's a song that said, even in the stillness, you are there. So I see God, even in the stillness, in the silence. I can hear him in my heart. And it's so important. It gives me a sense of reassurance, gives me comfort to know that delay is not denial. And I can learn whatever it is he wants me to learn in those quiet seasons. Yes, so you know how we do it. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Leave a comment so that I know what you took out from this lesson. And I'll see you in the next lesson. God bless you.